everyone, it's your girl Miami Sean, back with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are returning, thank you, thank you, thank you. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Recently I've been going through some health issues and I wanted to bring a little bit of awareness to this disease, encouragement, and to really talk about what's really going on. So yeah, let's get into it. Y'all bear with me. I have like notes. I want to make sure I do everything and go on and get this over with. So okay, so sorry y'all, get myself together. On July the 5th, I woke up and I had like numbness and tingleness in my hands and my feet. And I'm like, what in the world's going on? I just thought, okay, maybe I must have done something. I don't know. We had went to the beach that weekend and I remember something had bit me. But no, I didn't think nothing of it. So anyways, going on throughout my day, went to bed, wake up the next day is Tuesday, and the symptoms had gotten worse. It had actually spread it up to my calf area. So I'm like, what in the world is going on? And then my left side was feeling really, really funny, kind of numb sensation as well. And it was like my entire left side, and I had like a little pain right there. So I'm thinking to myself, am I having a stroke, a heart attack, or something like that? So I told my mom, I was like, take me to the hospital. But I had like waited some hours. I really kind of didn't feel like it was a stroke or a heart attack or anything like that. So when I waited to the hospital, I said, you know what, just take me to urgent care, because I just felt like it wasn't nothing like that. So we get to urgent care. They immediately take me back and make sure I do everything right, y'all. Yeah, they immediately take me back, run some tests. Everything looks okay. They do an EKG. They're like, everything is fine, you know, you're good to go. The lady that saw me, she said, well, maybe you just pulled something. And I said, well, yeah, maybe I did. I had an appointment that day with my primary care physician at 11 o'clock. So I was going to go to that appointment. So she told me to go on to that appointment because she said, that's your primary care physician. She'll know more of your history. So just go to that appointment. I go to the appointment. My primary care physician isn't there that week. She's out. So I saw another physician in her office. And he's like, that's kind of strange. By this time, it is still spreading. It's probably like around my thighs. The numbness, the tingleness, the pins and needles. So I was telling him and he said, well, this seems really strange. So he checked me out. He did a B12 test on me. And he said, you know, maybe you just pull something, come back in 2 weeks. No. I said, oh, okay. But in my head, I'm like, no, if this gets worse, I'm coming back. It was Tuesday. I was like, I'm gonna give myself Wednesday to rest and then I'll be back on Thursday. So listen, you guys have to be your own advocate when it comes to your health. You know when your body, something ain't right. You know that. So be your own advocate and be persistent about stuff. So I go home Thursday. I call back because now everything is rising. It's here. I can't feel my stomach. It's numb. Everything was numb to the point even my butt was numb. And so I'll go in. I'm telling him, I'm like, these symptoms are getting worse. Something is wrong. I said, even my butt is numb. He was like, what? Your butt is numb? He was like, that's so strange. So he goes and has an x-ray done of my spine. Everything looks fine. So after that, he's like, well, He said, your butt is not? I said, yes. And he said, well, let me run some other tests. So at this point, y'all, I'm like, oh my God, have I caught something? Like, okay, maybe y'all perfect, whatever. But I used to be in a relationship a while back. And I'm like, oh my God, Lord, I know I shouldn't be out here doing mess. I was scared, y'all. I was like, oh my God, maybe I've caught something. Thank God, tests were ran, everything came back negative. So at this point, he's still like, I don't know what's going on with you. Pretty much go home again, and if it gets worse, that's what he was telling me. So I was like, I went home. I've been into herbs for like 2 years now. So I got my little herb book out, and I started researching about inflammation and stuff like that. So I already had some herbs that were here, and I made a tea out of it, and I started drinking it every day. And I'm gonna go into specifics later about the tea and all that, not now, because with this herb, you have to be careful. You can't mix it with a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna do a video later on about all that stuff. But anyways, it was working. I immediately went back to my vegan diet because I have been slipping. I'm not even gonna lie. That vegan diet was out the door, like completely out the door. So to be honest with you, I have been going through like a really stressful situation in my life, and maybe a couple days before I got sick, I was going through Wendy's drive-through like 3 times in one day. I know I'm an emotional eater, thank God. I've realized that now. I'm working on that. But yeah, your girl diet, everything was out the door. So anyways, I immediately get back on that. I start drinking my tea. Before I changed everything, I noticed that night when I got home, I started having like this little tightness, and it would go away, but then it would come. Then it would go away, it would come. And I'm like, this is so strange. And then, so anyways, I started drinking, doing everything I needed to do. So Monday morning comes around, and at this point, after I started drinking the tea and doing right, it seemed like it started subsiding, like right underneath my breast area. The numbness and all that had gone down some, but from like my stomach area down, I was numb. My left side, I could not move. My right side was beginning to be like that. My hands felt like they were on fire, and it felt like they were swollen, but every time I looked at them, they were fine. Still the pins and needles. I'm like, something's not right. So that Monday morning, and again, that feeling, it was getting worse. So no, it wasn't getting worse. You know what? It was moving down here, and I felt the squeezing up in this area. So Monday morning, my primary care physician is back at her office. Her nurse calls me and tells me to be to the imaging center ASAP to have a CT scan done. I go over there, have the CT scan done, go back to my primary care physician's office, and nothing. Everything was good. My doctor's like, I don't know what's going on with you, because every test they've done is good. She said, your white blood cells are good, your red blood cells are good. She said, I can see, those are probably low if you have like infection or something like that. She said, she was like, your A1C is good, your EKG came back good, all your other tests came back good. She's like, we've ran every test, I just don't know. And so, but anyway, she's giving me an exam, and she said, this has to be neurologically, yeah, I get what I'm trying to say. And she said, something is off up there, something is not right. So she was like, okay, because at this time, my balance is off. I can't walk. So she's like, I'm gonna admit you into the hospital, and you're gonna have an MRI done stat. Go to Carolina East Hospital in New Bern, which has been an awesome hospital. Staff, everybody, they were superb. So anyways, I get over there, get my MRI done. I'm in the ER waiting, and I'm in the ER room, and I'm waiting for the doctor and everybody to come in, and everybody just kept coming and checking up on me. They were like rubbing my arm, or you know, just rubbing my leg, and they're like, hey, how you doing, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then eventually they had a shift change, so the nurse came in there, and she's like just looking at me, and she's like, oh, how are you doing, and you know, it's gonna be okay. And I'm sitting there looking at her like, what the world's going on? So I told her, I said, I don't know what's going on. And she said, oh my God, you know? I said, no, people have been coming in, but I haven't seen, the physician and stuff hasn't come in yet. And she was saying how they had an emergency and they're kind of like behind. And I said, oh, that's fine. And it was fine. So anyway, she said, let me go get the doctor. So she goes and she gets the doctor. The doctor walks in. She's like, you're going to be admitted into, well, no, I was in the ER room. So she said, we're going to admit you in a hospital for 5 days. You're going to have a very high dosage of steroids every day. So I'm like, okay, like 5 days for what? And she said, you have MS, multiple sclerosis. I was like, I remember looking straight forward, and I was like, okay, now we know how to proceed. So, y'all, I guess about, my mom was sitting behind me in a chair. And I know she was breathing, but I don't remember hearing anything. Like, everything was just silent. So after that, we end up, okay, so after that, maybe about 5 minutes or so later, y'all, I lost it. I lost it. Your girl wanted to fall out. She wanted to do all that. But I knew I couldn't fall out because it was going to be a man down type situation. And I wasn't going to be able to get up. And I knew my mom couldn't get me up. So I had this, and I'm just, oh, you know, all that. Just, y'all, why me, Lord? I don't deal with nobody. I don't mess with nobody. I try to do right. I ain't perfect, y'all. I went through the whole spill, the entire spill. So of course my mom, she's up, she's on the side of the bed, she's hugging me, she's praying, hugging, praying. So I was just like, all of a sudden, y'all, something said, I healed her. Stop crying. I got you. Why not you? Y'all, I knew that was God. I knew that, because the way I was feel, that was not anything I'm thinking about right there in that moment. Something came over me. It was like a peace, just a feeling. It was a good feeling. It was peace. It was comforting. I just, that's the only way I can explain it. And I feel like going through this, and it's like I'm going through it. I know I'm going through things. It's like a shield of protection is all around me. I see things coming, but they can't touch me. They can't. I see the weapons are forming, but they're not going to prosper. And this is how I feel when I'm going through this journey, this situation, just going through life. This is how I'm feeling. And I'm like, God, the weapons may form, but they shall not and will not prosper. God has equipped me for this, and we are going forward. I thank God for that. I truly thank God for that. Yeah. I just thank God for that. So, yeah. So, okay, let me get my thoughts back together. Okay, so after that, my mom, she goes home. Of course, my best friend, she calls me. We're on the phone talking. She's giving me encouraging words. We're praying. So then later on, yeah, we're praying. And so later on, another physician walks in. Nice doctor. He's like talking to me, holding my hand, and we're just talking. And he's like, yeah, he said, how are you doing? And I said, I'm doing good. From that experience that I experienced earlier, something also said, be positive. Be positive. I refuse to be negative. I'm not. Positive thinking can change your life. It really can. I used to hear about it. I never experienced it. But now I am experiencing that. So he was like, wow, you know, you're doing good. He was just asking about my family. Then we started talking about God. And he said, well, look, if it had to happen, it's good that it happened this week. And I was like, and he said, because when you go upstairs, there's a neurologist that's there. She's still affiliated. She's from Duke. She's still affiliated with Duke. And he said, she's superb. Like, she's the neurologist that you need to see. You really need to see her. And this is a great week because she's on call. So I was like, great. I was thankful for that. So later on that night, they're going to take me up to my room. So I knew I wasn't going to see the neurologist right away because they wanted me to start the steroids and see if it would be able to reverse the symptoms. And prayerfully, these symptoms, they wasn't going to get worse or either become permanent. Because with MS, there's a chance you can be paralyzed. It is a debilitating disease. And you can, in some cases, end up in a wheelchair. Some cases you don't. You can go blind. There are a lot of different things. So I'm just thankful to God that the steroids did its job and everything was going away. So anyway, she comes in and the neurologist finally comes in. It's Wednesday morning. I am super excited. So she comes in and I was kind of like, okay, what's gonna happen? How long? I mean, I had a little moment, y'all. And because the only thing I knew about MS was that I had a cousin that had it. He's no longer with us. I knew that Tamia had it. Grant Hill, the basketball player, his wife, Tamia, the singer, she had it. She's a celebrity. And I'm just like, but she's actually living with it now. And I was just like, yeah, okay, God, we're just gonna go with it. So when she walks in and she's looking at me and she's like, huh, what are you talking about? And I said, I'm just, you know, she's like, no, you're gonna be fine. She was like, you're gonna be okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she starts talking to my mom and I, and she's going through everything, and she's like, no, there's like so many different treatments now. Medicine is so advanced. Even from a year ago, she said it's not the same. It's advanced even more. There's like 12 different treatments, 12 or so different treatments. And after doing research, it seems like 3 of those treatments will probably be more effective for African Americans. Once I get the names, once I get all that, I'm gonna pass all this stuff on to you guys. She talked about the tightness in my chest. She said, well, that's called the MS hug. And I'm like, really? And she said, yeah. And y'all, that MS hug got worse. It didn't go away until maybe like my second day on steroids. So she also said, well, it looks like you have 3 spots on your brain. And I said, oh. She said, but you don't have to worry about that. She said, they're small, they're shrinking. She said, it looks like they've been there for many, many years. Looks like about 8 years. So y'all, I had this, I just never had a flare-up, a MS flare-up. And what MS flare-up is, I'm going to read y'all the definition right quick. It's an exacerbation of MS, also known as a relapse, attack, or flare-up, and is the occurrence new symptoms, or the worsening of old symptoms. It can be mild or severe enough to interfere with a person's ability to function. that was me. So what happened was, on my spinal cord, I had a spot right up here, and that was the spot, that was where my flare-up was. That was what caused me to have the MS flare-up. So she explained all that, and we get into what can cause this, and she said there's really no specific thing that can cause it. She did say there are signs, like some people that have vitamin D issues. And I will say this, when I turned 40, my vitamin D ended up dropping. And my primary care physician was like, wow, why is your vitamin D so low? And one thing, let me say this, one thing I like about my primary care physician is that she sees me, my mom, and my grandma. And so she's able to look at all of us and see, you know, if we have some of the same things or whatever. And that's truly a blessing. So she's like, well, you know, your mom had a little bit of vitamin D issues. And she said, but your mom's older and stuff like that. And she said, but this is strange for all of a sudden you to just have it. But she gave me medicine for it, and that was that. So the doctor said that's one symptom. Another thing she mentioned that I have been experiencing was brain fog. Brain fog is a real thing. I would get up to go do something. I couldn't remember why I got up. Like, why did I go up to go do whatever it was I was going to do? Like, I would get up and be like, why am I up? What am I going to go, what was I going to go do? And y'all had to just go sit down. I just couldn't remember nothing. And I knew it was, I was like, something ain't right. But again, I associate a lot of stuff with stress. Another thing was vision. I wear contacts. Even with my contacts, my glasses on, I noticed back in the summer of last year, my vision seemed like it was getting worse. I was like, gosh, something, like, even with all that, I feel like I couldn't see still. But eventually it went away. So she's saying those are symptoms. So those are the symptoms that I experienced. So after that, she said, yeah, we're going to go on and keep you on the steroids. And then Saturday, you should be able to go home. So, okay, y'all. And another thing that the neurologist said is that for her, MS is personal. She has a sister that is currently living with MS. She's had it for 16 years. She's living a thriving, awesome life. She's a dancer. She just had a baby. She takes no medicine. And she's now a holistic counselor, dietitian. When she said all that, I started inquiring about stuff. So you kind of can see where I'm going at with this. So yeah, so I was thankful that I got that information from her. She shared that with me, because a lot of people are not open to that way of living. So anyways, she told me I can go home Saturday. Hopefully everything starts, you know, continues to work and the symptoms continue to subside down, go away. And they did, thank God. The nurses and stuff would come in my room, and they're like, like I told you guys, I am remaining positive. Being positive works. They would come in and they're like, girl, you're smiling, and I'm like, yeah. I was always telling them, God's got it, we're gonna be okay. And they were like, yeah, like they were shocked at how, because they said some patients just don't react like that. Some do, some don't. So anyways, I want to get on right quick. Let me say this. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to get through this situation if it wasn't for God, my faith, and being positive. I also thank God for my leaders. I attend Without Limits Christian Center in New Bern, North Carolina. They have services online that you can watch. I suggest that you watch it. If you're at a church and you are not seeing your life change spiritually all around, then you need to find you another church. Yeah, I said it. That's critical. The place you go to worship means everything. My pastors are Pastor James and Lady LaConte McIver. Awesome awesome man and woman of God. And I'm not just saying that because they my leaders. I don't even do stuff like that. Like no, they are genuinely good people. They have a heart for people. And this entire time while I was in there, I have another friend at church as well. She was calling, they were calling, texting, praying. That's how they are. My pastor, he always tells us that, him and lady, I always say they're our faith coach. So being our faith coach, they're giving us everything that we need. We have to go and study, research, practice. You know, we have to study what he's given, and we have to do our part. And because we're trying to win this championship, and in this situation, I've won. I have won. So yeah, going to a faith-based church, that means everything. I'm telling you, find you a good place to worship. That's just, it's just so important. It's critical. So yes, and even when I was in there, they sent me this beautiful flower bouquet. I mean, huge, beautiful bouquet. And everybody walking in the room, they're like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. And I'm like, yes, that's my pastor and first lady and church family. So yeah, I can go on and on, but I'm going to try to keep it going. So yeah, so Saturday comes, I'm able to go home. Like I said, I'm excited, happy, a little bit nervous. Get home, I'm thinking in my head that I'm going to be able to go back to doing everything the way I used to. Yeah, that was not the case. I had problems like putting on my clothes, my pants, opening the contact lens, putting in the contact lens. Yeah, I didn't even try to put on no makeup, nothing like that, because I knew that was going to be a wrap. Cutting veggies, fruit, trying to write, because when I came home, my hands, these two hands on both, they were still like that. So I had to write differently. And it was some other things, but thank God today I have a little bit of symptoms in this hand, and it kind of gets stiff at times, but I just do my therapy, do everything I need to do. So praise the Lord. I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for life. But yeah, okay y'all, so we're gonna move this right along. Going Monday comes and my symptoms start to come back. I immediately call my neurologist, and she's like, don't worry, I'm gonna have to put you on another 5 days of the MS medicine. I mean, of steroids. Sorry, I'll get my thoughts together. Of the steroids. So I'm gonna be on another 5 days of steroids, which that pushes me further back, being able to get my MS medicine, because my neurologist does not want to mix my MS medicine with the steroids. She just doesn't want to do it. So thank God, as of today, everything is pretty much, symptoms are going away for the most part. I'm able to do things slowly but surely. Let me think of some more stuff. Yeah, things, they're looking good. I have a neurologist appointment next week. So let me just say this. When I first started this YouTube channel, yeah, I didn't think this would happen to me in a million years. No, negative. I never thought anything like that. So now that this has happened, I have decided to incorporate this into my channel. Yes, we're gonna do all the other videos, hair, makeup, travel, all that stuff. But now we're going to incorporate my life living with MS. When I go to the neurologist, I'm going to go to Chapel Hill to meet with the holistic counselor. I'm gonna take you guys with me. Hopefully we can discuss the diet and everything. Yeah, we're gonna do all that now on this channel. So one more thing I wanted to mention, because I know that diet is really going to be a huge important part of me getting better. I know right offhand I cannot have dairy, I cannot drink, which is not a big deal because I occasionally would drink every once in a while. This researching and knowing what I can and what I can't. And this is a good book that I've started off with. It's called The Walls Protocol. She is a physician. It's the cookbook. She is a physician that was diagnosed with MS, and it put her in a wheelchair. And she just started researching about foods, different foods, and pretty much is how foods healed her body, and now she's walking. God is good. God is good. So yeah, just okay, make sure. Okay, y'all. Yes. So that's where we're at right now, guys. Just going on with all these appointments, getting everything under control, managing everything. I'll return to work. It's gonna be a while, but I thank God for that, because that I need to just get myself together, and I'm so thankful that I can stay out like that. That to me is a huge blessing. So yeah, doing my diet, doing everything I need to do, exercising, make sure, you know, I'm just taking care of myself, focusing on me. So what else? Let me just say this, y'all. There's no way I would have been able to do this without a support team. Anybody that's dealing with MS, or you have a family member, be there. You cannot do this on your own. I am the type of person, I used to be super independent. Oh, I'm good. I got me. I'm good. I don't need nobody. I can handle it. I felt like letting go or doing any of that stuff, I felt like it was a sign of weakness. And it's not. It's not at all. It truly is not. This right here has been such a humbling experience forever, like for life. This was the change. This is the change that I needed in my life. It truly has been. Because like I'm okay with saying, hey, I need you to help me. Can you do this for me? And changed me completely around. And I thank God for that. And having a great support team is important with this disease. I thank God for my mom, my children, my cousins, my best friend, my ex, who happens to be a physician, because he's truly helped. Like, he's family. He's gonna always be family. Like, he's just not going anywhere. It's just how it is. Like I said, we're family. So he's been helping me out tremendously, because some of this medical verbiage or different stuff, and I'm like, like, he's been there nonstop helping, and I thank God for that. My friend now, my church, my home, previous church family, and just my current church family, my leaders. It's like you, and I have a friend at church, and it's like you can't make it. I've realized that I can't make it in this life by myself. It is not team, it's not I. It's not. But yeah, I really hope I didn't miss out anybody. If I did, y'all, I'm sorry. This brain fog at times. It's like I'm trying to remember, and I'm slowly getting back on track. So just bear with me, y'all. Yeah, I think I'm gonna close this video out, and I just want to say this. If you're a MS, if you're dealing with MS, or you know if anybody's dealing with MS, y'all, we got this. We are MS strong. We are staying positive. And remember, we win. We always win. This is just the beginning. I feel like at 40, I'm starting my life all over again. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for everything. Everything. I'm constantly telling God thank you. Constantly. Every day I wake up is a blessing. A blessing. I just thank God that he's given me a second chance, because I know that it could have been different. The devil meant this for my bad, and God has turned it around for my good in ways I can't explain. I know God has healed me. I know everything is going to be okay. This is for God's benefit. No, let me say that. I'm getting right, y'all. Sorry. This is for God's glory, my benefit. And I thank God for it every day. I thank God. So more stuff is to come, you guys. I'm gonna end it with that. And love, peace, many blessings.